going on YouTube? What's going on Patreon friends? How y'all doing today? What's going on with the BTS Army, man, and my technician nerds? We're doing a little story time with DJ Swivel, and we're talking about BTS. What a time to be alive, right? This is fantastic. I just found this channel, man, and like I personally, y'all know how I feel about technicians, though. I think that this channel deserves more subscribers than it has. And I mean, like, if y'all haven't gone to DJ Swivel's channel, or if you're watching this, or if you're seeing this for the first time, please go check him out, man. Please give him like some support, give him a comment, a like, a subscribe, all that stuff, man, because I think that like these technicians deserve the world, man. Like, in all honesty, like, my opinion, like, it's like a chicken and an egg thing, you know? Like, if you don't have good production teams, it doesn't translate to art. You know what I mean? Like, there's something magical about like a technician who's dialed in and like wants to be a part of the project and is passionate about their job, right? And like willing to do stuff like this, man. Like, this is cool, right? And like, I don't know, I dig it. I'm talking too much already. So we got a BTS reaction coming up after this, but I wanted to watch this to kick things off, keep the theme alive. And what else? You can check me out on Patreon. Links in the description box. And if you want to send me some requests, you can drop your comments down below. It helps my channel out as well. What else? That's about it. Let's do this.
What's up, guys? I'm DJ Swivel, and on this week's episode...
I didn't plug my headphones back in. Give me one sec. Let's not go anywhere. Okay, let's go.
What's up, guys? I'm DJ Swivel, and on this week's episode of Storytime, I'm going to be sharing with you the story of how I learned a little bit of Korean to sing some background vocals for our favorite band, BTS. But before we get started, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell.
Yeah,
do what you gotta
check
do.
them out, man.
The intro.
Links in the description. Love it.
What's up, guys? I'm DJ Swivel, and we're back for another episode of Storytime. And on this week's episode, we're going to talk about me recording background vocals in Korean for BTS. This was a really interesting ask, but before we get right to it, why don't I just set up how this whole thing came about. Sort of in between before Map of the Soul 7 came out, usually when I work with BTS, because I'm not in Korea, their label, Big Hit, will send me tracks. And sometimes I'll make my own and send them in. But in addition to that, they'll send tracks from their core team of producers, so P-Dog and Slow Rabbit. And
so tracks are just like it's not quite a song, but it feels like a song, or it feels like the like beginning of a song. It's like the toddler of a song, right? So tracks are like it's like probably just like a drum beat or like a loop that just plays like the same thing. It's probably not very intricate. It might have like some fills or some stops and stuff. It'll probably have some like guitar stuff on top, some keyboard stuff, like whatever instruments they usually use, right? But it's just like demo tracks, or like, hey, like this is kind of what we're getting at. What do you think? Put your spin on this, right? Like, so it's not, the song isn't complete yet, but it's like, here's some feelers, here's some ideas. Like, what do you think, right? Like that's what tracks are.
And they'll send those tracks over, tracks that they know that they like. They know that this is something we probably want to use for the record. And they'll send those tracks over, and then my job is to write melodies. And they don't even always have to have lyrics. Sometimes I'll write lyrics, but sometimes it's just melody. So me humming melodies. And then they'll get those references in, and then Big Hit and BTS will collectively pick their favorites, and then, you know, if they pick yours, then you made the album, kind of.
So they would trust him as well as other resources to come up with like melodies and stuff that are gonna be catchy. You know, they're gonna deliver a certain amount of like emotion, and I'm assuming that BTS would have like a lot of like hands-on decision making in that, because they seem very, very like engaged with their music, and of course their audience, like the army too, right? But like it's cool like to be able to talk about that stuff, right? Because like it doesn't go as far as like ghostwriting, but it's like, here is like, you know, like a melody that would work with your stuff that would go over well, right? Like it's cool. Like, you're trusting professionals, right? It's like when I get my hair cut, I'm like, I don't know what to do. You're the professional. You went to school for this. Shouldn't say that. Shouldn't admit to that. I haven't got my hair cut in a while.
So Moon was one of the tracks. I co-wrote 2 songs on Map of the Soul 7, Moon and We Are Bulletproof, The Eternal.
Probably paid for his couch.
On We Are Bulletproof, they just use like our bridge section of melodies, and I actually sang some background vocals on that too. But that was just like the ooze at the end, right? The chant at the end.
I like that he doesn't try to make that a big deal, because like it's cool, like it's neat to be able to talk about that, but it's cooler to talk about the experience than it is to be like, yeah, I had the little outro ooze on the BTS record. Like you don't need to lean on that, right? Like I believe you, we believe you, I hope, you know what I mean? And it's cool to hear him like not lean on that, but like talk about like the rest of it. That's why I think people like this need more attention, man.
But on Moon, after I found out that they wanted to use some of our melodies, I got an interesting request, and I got an email from the A&R team at Big Hit asking if I would like to record some background vocals on Moon. Well, actually, at the time, they asked for Moon and We Are Bulletproof, and the We Are Bulletproof one was very straightforward. Again, just that chant at the end that ends the song. But then when we got to discussing Moon, they said, we'd like you to sing these background parts in Korean. And I was a little confused.
Challenge
to be honest.
accepted,
I was not sure why I was being asked, because Korean is not my native language, and I don't speak it at all, really. And so I thought that would be a bit of a challenge. But I thought about it, and I was like, throughout my career, I've never turned down an opportunity. I've never turned down a challenge. And those are the things that kind of motivate me. So I sort of just said, all right, I'll do it, sure. And I didn't really think about, how difficult it might be. But they sent files, and they were so nice. They sent Jin's vocal. This is my first time hearing Jin's vocal, but they sent it completely dry, with no reverb, no effects, so that So
completely dry just means like it's just him and a microphone. It's like me right here. This is dry, right? Like, oh man, that would be fun. That would be so fun to listen to.
Could really understand and hear his pronunciation of all the words. And then what they did is they sent the lyrics in Korean with underneath it the.
Oh man, how cool is this? Bro, like, what's neat, man, is like when you do this job, like you have to put in your 10,000 hours, your 100,000 hours, whatever, right? And it's like so many people fall into just doing like, yeah, I'll do the record for you. Yeah, I'll do the record for you. Yeah, I'll do the record for you. Take my money. But like, man, this is cool. Like, if you're going to do it, man, like, why wouldn't you, right? Like, come on, man, this is neat.
The phonetic English way of like pronouncing it. So I was pronouncing it phonetically. And in order to get the song done, I basically had to go almost like line by line, like one phrase, another phrase. So I had to do it in these like very short sections because I couldn't memorize
another language,
full pre-chorus, for example, in Korean. It was just too much, too difficult. And also there was a fairly quick turnaround on this. They were wrapping up the album, and they wanted to include these layers.
Cool.
And so I said, okay, well, let me just try it. And I ended up staying up all night. I worked on it like it
This is what I'm talking about, man. This is so cool. I love hearing this, man, because it's like I'm just relating to this so much. Like I remember when I was doing this, like when I was doing sound, man, live sound, staying up in my parents' garage or like whatever shop I could get my hands on until like 4, 5, 6 in the morning, like just like putting screws and things and making your cables all nice and making sure everything worked before the big show on the weekend. It's just like, oh man, I love that energy.
8 or 10 hours just to layer it, because it wasn't just one background stack. I ended up doing 4 background stacks of my voice, so I had to record it 4 separate times. And then in addition, we got a female layer with my often writing partner Candace. She did the female layers and harmonies.
Cool.
And so I spent about like 8 to 10 hours going through just line by line, trying to phonetically pronounce it in the most accurate way as possible. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to do something that's not going to come off as authentic or not going to come off as great. And of course, BTS, the boys, they set the bar very high on the quality of their music.
Well, and Swivel's been with the best, man. Like, he knows they came to him for his professionalism. Of course he's going to do a good job, right, man? I want to listen to this now.
And the quality of their vocals, and I mean, you could tell, like, they're leaving no stone unturned there. They're making sure that everything is absolutely perfect. And so I can't just do something like half-ass. I got to really take it all the way there. So
that's why he's sitting on his couch.
I go through, I end up recording all of the parts, and not just recording them, editing them, and making sure they line up perfectly to Jin's voice so that it would just blend with him. At the end of the day, I'm not meant to be heard. I'm meant to be felt underneath. This is Jin's song. So it's not about my voice. It's just about like beefing up some of those background stacks.
I've talked about stuff like that in like their layers of their like backing vocals when they sing. It's like usually one person will like actually enunciate like all the consonants. Consonants don't have pitch, like, you know, k, t, like it's all the part of it, right? Like and so like you don't want, like, imagine a choir, like if you sing the word like, I don't know, praise, you don't want praise, you know what I mean? So normally one person does the praise and everyone else will do like the raise in their pitch, right? So it probably was like a lot of that. Like it was like get rid of like you know, don't like really hard like de-essing, like take out a lot of the enunciation and just have like, we just want the pitches, we just want like the timbre of your voice and the female voice versus Jin's voice, right? Like that's cool, man. That's cool.
And so I record the backgrounds, I edit them up, get them all together, then I get Candace's vocals and edit hers and get them stacked and send them over. And then I think I get an email like a few days later saying, these were great, but could you just repronounce? There was like one line that I didn't really nail. I didn't get it perfect. I didn't pronounce it the perfect way.
See, and they care about their art too, man. That's why they came to the best, right? Like, oh man, I love this. I'm getting so hyped right now.
They recorded it again and helped me correct my pronunciation on it.
Cool.
And then recorded it, and it got used, which I thought was really cool.
Super cool.
And such a nice thing for them to do. I love that I get to, you know, tell this story, and you know, certainly they didn't need it. I mean, clearly the guys can all sing really well and far better than I could ever sing. And so I'm not entirely sure why I was asked to do the background.
Man, it's because they trusted him. It's because they trusted him, and because it adds something to it, man. It's like when you have like and like he's trying to say, like, you have all these phenomenal vocalists, man, but like there's something about just having a difference. Like I don't know what the purpose was, if it sounds like crowd chanting or something, but like just a little bit of separation, because it's like 7 voices now sounds like 9 voices. Why not have 9 voices, man? Like it adds some kind of feel to it. It's like when they bury breathing in the mix, but it's like this like it gives you like this feeling, and you might not be able to hear it, but it's a feeling, and it's cool, man. Like, getting hyped, man, getting hyped.
I think that it was more about just like inclusiveness, like involving everybody in the process, and just like, you know, there's something
cool
to say about the creative, the collaborative process, and being able to share, share that creative process and creative thinking with, you know, another group. And so I thought it was very kind of them to ask me to do it, and it was a huge challenge, and I was terribly nervous, but it seemed to come together. It seemed to fit in. You know, when I listen to Moon now, I don't hear myself in it. I mean, I can hear I can hear the harmonies, and I can hear the structure of it. But they mixed it in such a way where, you know, the listener is really hearing is Jin, because the lead vocal is sitting well above, level-wise, to the backgrounds. But the backgrounds are in there low to like really just beef out the track and fill in.
I think they call it like a vocal pad. I'm trying to remember. We recorded a choir once for a friend's album, and it was just basically like, it almost just sounded like it was a keyboard just doing this like woo, but it was actually a whole choir. And when you stripped it out versus when the whole choir was there barely in the mix, it was just different. It was just different.
The little sort of holes and pockets sonically when we listen to a song. Sometimes you just want to have that little foundational layer of backgrounds there to kind of lift the whole vocal. But they mixed it in a way where it was very subtle, and I thought it was like so tastefully done. And you know, I guess the lesson, if we had to pull a lesson out of this, I always try to have a lesson with these, is, you know, take on those like challenges.
Yeah,
Somebody
that's what I
asks
wanna
you
hear.
to do something and you're not quite sure that you can do it. You know, sometimes just say yes and figure it out, and go through the process and challenge yourself to like learn something new. And so, you know, I had to learn, I don't know, 10 lines of Korean, let's say, or 12 lines of Korean maybe. And I don't know if I'll ever be able to use that in life, maybe one day. But certainly now, if I was ever asked to cut any backgrounds in Korean, the next time it won't be as difficult. And
Or any other language, man. He knows he could do it. Like, confidence is a byproduct, bro. And like, he looks proud, he looks confident, and I dig seeing that, man. Y'all know, I dig seeing that.
Challenge. And so I love that. I try every day to learn something new. Every day I want to try to push myself to be just a little bit better version of myself. And these are those moments where you get to really kind of flex those muscles and really push yourself to do something new and do something that's a challenge. And when you finish it, there's this amazing sense of satisfaction that you accomplished something. And that's what I felt doing that. So that was a really fun thing for me to try. And I think I did a good job. I hope I did a good job. You guys can let me know in the comments. Yeah, and just super grateful.
Of course they did a good job, man. They used it.
BTS and Big Hit for even asking me. You know, they definitely did not have to, but to include, you know, the writer in that, I thought that was like very kind of them. So thank you, BTS. Thank you, Big Hit, for that. And thank you guys for listening to the song and supporting it. I mean, that's one of those songs that just did like really well and got so much love and yeah, I mean, you guys ask about it all the time. So yeah, so thank you guys for listening and making it what it is. But anyways, that is story time for the week. I'm DJ Swivel, and until next time, peace.
Love it, man. I love it. I'm gonna leave this up. Y'all go check him out, man. It's so cool. It's so cool that he gets to tell stories like this, and B, like, these experiences, man. He's willing to open up and share. Like, I dig it, man. I dig it. And like, what a perspective. When, like he said, like, what a challenge. You know what I mean? And like, I hope that sparks some inspiration in someone or in him to like take on challenges like that, man. Like, do another language. Why not? Pick a song in French and learn it. Let's go. Like. Anyways, man, I got like a BTS reaction coming up. It'll be one of the requests, and if this one's on there, then I'll check it out, and if not, then I'll see you guys there. But see everyone again soon.